Congress has spoken clearly on this matter. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, which I was proud to champion, we reaffirmed strong support for NASA's exploration program. At a time when some have sought to prematurely dismantle the International Space Station, despite China's presence in low Earth orbit, Congress provided ample funding to continue the safe operations of the ISS.
Hey, space fans, let's talk about the high-stakes showdown happening right now above our heads. Senator Ted Cruz just sounded the alarm. If America drops the ball in the space race against China, there will be a bad moon on the rise. That's not just a catchy phrase, it's a real warning about our future.
Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation will come to order. Today we will discuss NASA's progress, its challenges, and the path forward on the first comprehensive NASA authorization bill since 2017. When I was chairman of this committee's Space Subcommittee, Senator Bill Nelson and I worked together on several pieces of space legislation that were signed into law by both Presidents Obama and President Trump. Continuing that bipartisan tradition, this past March, my colleagues and I together introduced a short-term NASA authorization bill. All of these efforts reveal an important truth, which is this: there exists a strong bipartisan consensus in Congress for backing the critical mission of NASA. When it comes to the final frontier, we're not Republicans or Democrats. Rather, we are Americans first. And all of us know that for our nation to continue doing incredible things in space, we must rely on and empower NASA's ingenuity and determination.
For decades, NASA has been America's pride. Apollo, the Space Shuttle, the International Space Station, these weren't just missions, they were milestones that brought the country together. Cruz says, space isn't about politics, it's about being Americans first, aiming for the stars, together. But now, things are different. Beijing is going all in, funding their space program with billions, keeping a constant presence in low Earth orbit, and planning to put boots on the moon by 2030. If the US loses momentum, we're not just falling behind, we're risking our national security and leadership in technology.
NASA has always been one of America's greatest engines of innovation. From Apollo to Artemis, from the Space Shuttle to the International Space Station, our space program reflects the very best of American leadership. I look forward to continuing that tradition by working and enacting into law a longer-term reauthorization of NASA with my colleagues. This is a pivotal moment for our nation's space program. America must maintain leadership in low Earth orbit, while also embarking on a new era of exploration with Artemis. Make no mistake, we are in a new space race with China, and if we fail, there will be a bad moon on the rise. China has made no secrets of its goals. It is investing heavily in space capabilities, maintaining a permanent presence in low Earth orbit, and working to plant its flag on the moon by 2030. The stakes could not be higher. Space is no longer reserved simply for peaceful exploration. It is today a strategic frontier with direct consequences for national security, economic growth, and technological leadership. If our adversaries achieve dominant space capability, it would pose a profound risk to America. This is not just about exploration. The choices we make today will determine whether the United States leads in space or cedes space to an authoritarian regime.
Space is now a field of global competition, not just peaceful exploration. Continuity matters more than ever. Cruz says cutting NASA's missions now would be a massive mistake, especially after Congress already invested in Artemis 4 and Artemis 5. These missions will build the gateway station around the moon and set the stage for the next giant leap.
That is why continuity in NASA's programs is not simply good practice. It is a matter of national security. Any drastic changes in NASA's architecture at this stage threaten United States leadership in space. Delays or disruptions only serve our competitors' interests. Congress has spoken clearly on this matter. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, which I was proud to champion, we reaffirmed strong support for NASA's exploration program. At a time when some have sought to prematurely dismantle the International Space Station, despite China's presence in low Earth orbit, Congress provided ample funding to continue the safe operations of the ISS, as well as to provide an on-ramp for follow-on commercial stations. And Congress also provided the funds necessary to sustain a presence on the moon. Artemis 4 will deliver and assemble the first major elements of the gateway station in lunar orbit, and Artemis 5 will expand surface exploration using that platform. These missions rely on the Space Launch System and Orion capsule to reach the moon and to reach the Gateway Station. It would be folly to cut short these missions after much of the hardware has already been purchased and in some cases delivered and with no commercial alternative readily available. I look forward to working hand in hand with the administration to ensure that those funds are utilized in full accordance with congressional intent.
The hardware's ready, the world is watching. Looking ahead, the milestones are huge. Keeping astronauts in orbit, sending Americans, especially the first woman, back to the moon, and yes, laying the groundwork for Mars.
We have seen overwhelming support for maintaining these programs from senators, Republicans, and Democrats alike. Congress supports NASA's exploration goals, and we do not want sudden or disruptive changes that undermine America's leadership. NASA is more than just a symbol of national pride. It is a strategic capability that advances our economy, security, and value. The milestones ahead: maintaining continuous human presence in low Earth orbit, returning American astronauts to the moon, landing the first female astronaut in history on the surface of the moon. As the father of daughters, that is particularly near and dear to my heart. And preparing for human missions to Mars. These are not just scientific achievements. They are fundamental to America's role in the world's leading spacefaring nation. America must remain the world's leader in space. With steady leadership and clear direction, I'm confident that we will.
As a dad with daughters, Cruz says that lunar moment is personal. Bottom line, NASA is more than a symbol. It's a force that powers innovation, protects our country, and defines what it means to lead. America's choices today will decide who owns the future of space. So, if you care about the future of humanity beyond Earth, hit that subscribe button. The real space race is happening now, and you don't want to miss what comes next. Thanks for watching Hot News today.